Welcome to Moments of Motherhood. I'm Bailey.
And I'm Tori. Join us in creating community through shared experiences and candid conversations.
We hope to bring you laughter, comfort, and solidarity in this journey of motherhood.
This is our virtual village. Welcome back to Moments of Motherhood. I'm Tori.
And I'm Bailey. What's up?
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday, but maybe you're listening to this some other day.
Right?
But it's Friday for us, so yay for the weekend for me.
Do you even realize it's the weekend? Oh, I guess, because Joe works like a regular schedule.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, yay for the weekend for me, but for you, I think it's just the days
Another
don't matter.
Day. Yeah. I mean, every other week, I guess they matter.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Stepmom life. So. Every other week is different, which is so crazy.
I know. It's a trip.
Yeah.
But how are you doing today?
I am pretty good. Like a little sleep update for everybody, for the people that maybe have listened to previous episodes. My youngest is sleeping so much better. So I feel like that's so helpful for me and just sort of like puts me in a whole different mood.
Yeah, I haven't been wanting to say it, and I'm going to knock on wood.
I know.
But I feel like you're over the hump.
Oh my God. Let's pray.
We are.
Let's pray.
I almost texted it, but I said to myself, I can't even put that in writing.
And I was actually I like hesitated slightly saying his sleep because watch like the next week just be so shit. But
no, it's not going to.
No, it's not going to. It's not going to. But yeah, he was sick and teething and all the things, whatever. He's just naturally not a great sleeper. And so the like 6-7 hour stretches, any other mamas in that boat know that like that is so life-changing after years of no sleep.
Right. This is your third. So you've been in Levi's 6. So it's been
he'll be 6 in August.
6 years of broken sleep.
Yeah, because no one talks about the third trimester.
Oh my gosh.
Sleep.
I know.
I remember with Otto, the third trimester sleep being like, I cannot wait to have this newborn because there is like the sleep could not be worse than this. And maybe I jinxed myself,
so awful.
But yeah.
Yeah. Third trimester for all of our mamas that are pregnant. I feel you. I'm sorry.
And if it's go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, like, it'll get better.
Yeah. But if it's your first, like seriously take naps if you can in the third trimester because nighttime sleep is so crazy.
You just can't get comfy, like, and going pee.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, you just wake up a million times. And then, like, with a newborn, you wake up a million times, but it's just different.
I would wake up at 2 a.m. and just be doing shit.
Oh
just random tasks because I couldn't sleep.
Yeah. I know, because, like, after a while, laying down, when you're so big, like, when you reach that point of just, feeling the weight of everything on you.
Yeah.
You can't lay down for so long. Yeah. I remember wishing I had, like, a recliner.
Yeah.
But we didn't, so.
That would have been nice.
I know. Anyway, how are you?
I am good. I have been dealing with like some anxious feelings lately. I've just been, I don't really know, overwhelmed with every little thing. So just trying to recenter and regroup. I know we talk about the weather like every time on this podcast.
Doesn't matter.
But with it finally being summer in the Pacific Northwest, I just feel like I should be way more grateful and in the zone compared to where I'm at. So I'm working on it and really trying not to be a crazy lady. So
I know. Life can be rough sometimes, whether it's gray and gloomy or sunny and warm. And hopefully the sunshine will keep helping you a little bit.
I know. I've been like upping my vitamin D intake too, so we'll see.
Right? Just do all the things.
Yeah.
Keep getting your daily coffees, like whatever it takes to.
Speaking of, we wanted to talk about identity today, and in these moments, I think about what would I have done before I was a mother. And for me, I'm like,
if you felt this way,
if I felt anxious at any point. And for me, I was so big, I would just like self-medicate. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go outside and chill and like roll a joint and just hang out.
Yeah.
And could I do that now? In theory, yes. But that would not relax me in any way, shape, or form. I feel I don't know if other moms feel that, but it just makes me more paranoid and more stressed out. And I think that's part of a struggle too, is that was a huge part of my identity before kids. And now it's not.
I think that is like one of maybe like the bigger things when okay, so I guess there's obviously a lot of different perspectives, but when you become a mom in your early 20s, I feel like that can be sort of like a big jolt awakening, or just like it's such a huge change because you're used to, I don't know, the lifestyle of whatever your lifestyle was, if that was smoking weed every day or going and drinking and just having that freedom. And you're an adult, but you're still young and dumb.
Yeah.
In your early 20s, and you just don't really know what you don't know still. And I mean, that's all the way through life, right? You don't know what you don't know, but I don't know. Looking back at my early 20s, like I really didn't know what I didn't know. And so maybe if you have babies like in your 30s, when you're already maybe more like adulting, it's easier.
That transition might be easier.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're talking about our identities after becoming a mom and like who we are and what was our transition like, and what, like, how do we identify now? Do we just identify as moms, or
and how do you transition? How do you deal with that? Because a lot of it is I don't want to say taken away, but I think in some instances it is like your identity is taken away. Who you used to be is not, I mean, just biologically, your brain changes when you become a mother. There's no way that you could be exactly the same, I don't think.
No, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, nothing. And I don't think I would want to be there, right? I look back and part of me is like, oh, I miss Old Bailey, but I would never want to still be Old Bailey.
That reminds me of an Instagram meme that I saw. I think it might have been earlier today or yesterday, about just like being okay being a mom and leaning into just growing as a mom and figuring it out, and not necessarily wanting your old life back. But I mean, I don't know how it went. It was like a nice, short, sweet little quote. Maybe I'll reshare it if I can find it again. But just essentially, it was talking about like you can mourn who you were, but would you want to be her
exactly
as a mom? Or so
how do you identify? Who does Tori identify as?
So I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, or if maybe like saying this might trigger some people, but I really identify just as a mom. Like I'm okay with almost my whole identity being a mom right now.
Yeah.
I think in different scenarios, I'm obviously a different version of myself. If Joe and I are out on a date night at a concert and just the two of us, and I know my babies are really taken care of and they're with someone I completely trust, I can let loose and be a different version of myself. But the majority of the time, I'm just mama mode, thinking about everyone's needs. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I think that plays a role. Like I'm not in a different, like I don't leave the house to go do something different every day. I'm constantly just thinking about the needs of my kids or my family or taking care of, what we have going on here. And when I had Levi, my oldest, I think Joe will remember this too. I'm going to ask him later. I think I kind of had like a quarter life crisis of just like being, yeah, who am I? And oh my gosh, like I'm a mom now already.
Yeah.
I'm 25. Like what? Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I totally had a quarter life crisis too at 26. I
Yeah.
specifically remember my 26th birthday.
Yeah, it's so, I feel like I remember that.
Yeah, I was like a disaster. I feel that for me, first of all, I resonate with you so much being a stay-at-home mom. I think also with us being not having physical support from family, or I mean, you have your nanny, but that's still like very limited time where you get to turn off, and during that time you don't really turn off. You're still doing motherly things.
Yeah.
It's not like we have grandparents here where we can be like, hey, will you keep them for 2 days and just let us have a weekend? And so I do feel that being a stay-at-home mom, you have to be somewhat content, or at least I have found contentment in being a mom. That's who I am right now. But also the biggest transition for me was for years and years and years, identified by what I was doing. And that's what I think so much of society does, is they identify with what your career is, what you do at school, how you occupy your time is how people identify. And I did that for the longest. Like, I'm a student, I'm a manager, I'm in law school. And I wanted that title.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I had Roland where I really sat in, and my quarter life crisis, and sat in the fact that none of those titles really mean anything. If you're a lawyer, but who are you? Like, who am I as an individual? And even now, like, yes, I identify as a mom, but I have had to do so much internal work of figuring out, who am I? What are my values? What do I stand for? How do I want to raise my children? How do I want our family to be presented to the world? I think there's so much more to figuring out who you are. We try to classify everyone. What's your identity? Are you a mom? Are you a corporate girly? Are you a working mom? Are you a stay-at-home mom? And I think it really should be more of, who are you as a person? Right?
I love that perspective. You totally just like completely shifted my whole mindset.
I literally
on this conversation.
I was just thinking about it when I was doing my makeup, actually, because we had our conversation earlier, and I was like, yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but like, I don't know, there's more to me, right?
Yeah,
like, I love being a stay-at-home mom. I absolutely love it. But I just feel like, even, with all the politics going on and everything, it's always just like, what race are you? What gender are you? What's this? What's that? Like, who are you as a human? Like, are you a good human? Who do you identify as? Like, I know Tori, my best friend, and the first thing I say to people is, I'm like, oh yeah, Tori's my best friend. She's a stay-at-home mom. I'm like, oh, Tori's my best friend, and like, she's my ride or die. We talk about everything. She's there for me. I feel like that's so important. I don't know. I had like a revelation while I was doing my makeup.
No, oh my gosh, I love that. And then that just like got me thinking, okay, who am I? Like, how would I describe myself?
Yeah.
How would I think Joe and I are really big on, making sure our values align, especially in raising boys. I mean, kids in general we happen to have all boys. And yeah, like that has to come from who we are. Deep down inside, we want to be kind, we want them to be generous, we want them to be free spirited, and and just really take in everything and be accepting and loving. And I think that all obviously comes from who we are as a people. I mean, if that's what we want to teach them, right? So that perspective on, okay, we're more than moms, like of course we're more than moms. And I guess when I say, like, who am I now after being a mom or becoming a mom, I think maybe motherhood, that word motherhood, sort of in my mind encapsulates how I identify.
Yeah.
Like mothering, because that's nurturing, and that's taking care of my family, and that's being loving, and that's being really generous, right? Like we're constantly giving. So
I love that.
well, I just listened to what you had to say and was like, okay.
Yeah, but I think like when you break it down, yes. Because I think a lot of people say like, oh, you can't just identify as a mom. Like, no, I'm saying that, but that's because that encompasses who I am. Like when you break it down to the characteristics and when you look back, yeah, you might have had different habits before you were a mother, but you still always had those characteristics. Like you were always giving and generous and loving and caring and nurturing. So I think so often again, that's the problem is we just identify by what we're doing on a daily basis. Because you really are still that same. Yes, we've grown immensely.
Right.
But your values and my value, I mean, I think that's probably why we've stayed friends for so long. Luckily, they've evolved in a similar path, but our core values have always been similar.
Yeah. I think
that's who we are deep down. And I think, so yeah, I think on the surface, yeah, we are moms. And that's how I'm proud to say that. I'm a mom. I'm a full-time mom. I always, when people ask me, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. That's what I do. That's what I love. And do I sometimes
don't feel bad for me? Like when I tell you I'm a stay-at-home mom, please don't feel bad for me.
Like, oh, how do you do that? Like, I choose to.
Yeah.
And can it be challenging to be a stay-at-home mom? Yes. But also, and it's not for everyone, right? And if you choose not to be, that's not to say you're not nurturing and everything else. It's just your characteristics, who you are internally has a different drive.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's fine.
Yeah. And that's
more than fine.
I feel like how we identify as adults is just so surface level. And it just categorizes us. And really, it's about who you are deep down.
Yeah. It's hard because I think a lot of maybe the surface level stuff comes from social media and just not just always having to like put on this front and not ever being able to just like be open and vulnerable. I mean, I'm not saying I want to be open and vulnerable to hundreds of thousands of people on the internet.
Right.
If I choose to do so, amazing. But yeah, the internet is it's superficial. Like,
yeah. And I think, oh, go ahead.
No,
sorry.
No, it's fine.
I just had a thought pop in.
Yeah.
Ed and I actually were having this conversation this morning. So I think the one major, and I don't know if this would be an identity shift or just like my mental paradigm is changing. I remember being in college, even when I graduated, I think sorry, I hear children screaming. Okay. They're just playing lions.
Oh.
While Miles is sleeping. So while I was all through high school, all through college, can you hear them?
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Now I'm going to be out of breath from running up the stairs, but
clearly now you know how I feel.
Jesus. All right, I'm going to drink. We're just going to cut off.
Oh my gosh, so funny. Literally, I would like sprint back.
Literally.
My cardio is 0.
Yeah. Oh, that was my workout for the day. Not doing hot works. On top of the fact that I can't breathe.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like super amplified from congestion. Like, that's not even fair.
Miles, come here. I might just breastfeed him and...
Yeah.
Come here, boo-boos. Hi. Come on, that was a very short nap. Come here.
You and Ed, you were saying you and Ed.
Oh, we were having a conversation. We were just talking about, some politics and the cities we live in and how we want to raise our kids, essentially. Yeah. But with that, he was like, you have to realize, like, you can't change the world. Mm-hmm. You can only, like, protect your family, essentially. At some point when you become parents, it's kind of more about protecting your kids and your family, which I think is one of my biggest shifts because when I was younger, and I still do, like, I would love to help change the world. Don't get me wrong. But that is like last on my priority list right now.
Yeah.
as I remember in college, I think maybe my cap said like a quote, something about changing the world. And that was always my goal. And that's when I had my 26-year crisis. I was like crying and I was like, I just thought I was going to be doing such big things. I thought I was going to be living in another country and like saving lives and doing. And I remember Ed sat me down. He's like, do you realize the lives you're changing right here? Like my stepkids, your nieces and nephews, your children that you're raising, like you are changing their lives on a daily basis, and becoming content with that was a big shift in my mindset, and coming to terms like, okay, I don't need small changes, still good change, and you can still have an impact and have worth and be worthy of feeling good and proud.
Yeah,
I think,
you don't need like a big title.
Yeah, to do those things.
Yeah, to do those things and to feel good about yourself and to feel secure in who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of, you know, figuring out my identity after becoming a mother is, he's so cute. Just becoming secure in who I am, in my values, what I stand for, what I believe in. I think if anything, becoming a mother has, no, I know that becoming a mother has truly opened my eyes to who I am and who I want to become, you know?
I love that.
Yeah, I just feel like I've always been growth oriented, you know, moving out west by myself, completely didn't know anybody, just like on a whim was like, oh, let's do this thing. Okay. What are you doing? But that was just like me growing. And then I'm like, okay, I'm pregnant. We're doing this. Let's have more babies. Let's keep testing and seeing what I can handle. And I mean, not, you know, that's obviously not the reason I had more babies, but it does. It tests you and it sees what it definitely like opens up, you know, what you can handle. And it forces you to grow and it forces you to adapt and change. And I just remember, honestly, when I was pregnant with Levi, that something I always like struggled a little bit with some like eating stuff. I'm sure so many women can relate, but I remember becoming pregnant with Levi and just feeling so sure about my relationship with food. It was such a weird shift and change. And I'm just like using that as an example of how even before I technically became a mother, which I think you become a mother as soon as you get pregnant, and have something growing inside you, like can't take that away. But you know, before I had life birth side, I was like, my eyes just became open to, oh wow, like this is who I'm supposed to be. This is who I'm meant to be. This is like, I'm so sure of this thing now. And I never thought I would be so sure of something like this. And that I feel like that just that continues throughout motherhood for me.
Yes, 100%. Like what you stand on is so real and so just solidified, I think, as a mother.
Yeah.
Like I don't question any of my decisions.
Yeah.
Which might sound crazy. Whereas before I was chronically questioning, should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I?
What if?
Yeah. And now, even as anxious as I am, my anxiety is about like different things. My major decisions of what I choose for our family as a whole are just so sure in who I am as an individual.
Yeah. And do you feel that self-assurance that I was sort of just describing? Like for you, did becoming a mom really make you? He's like, I want to be a part of it.
I know.
But I don't.
He wants to get down and he doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you feel more self-assured, I guess?
Yeah, I think for me, maybe not to the same extent. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's I've always just kind of been like delusionally self-sure. when it comes to, again, my decisions and where I stand on my ground, I am very self-assured in those things.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you've always been self-assured. Like growing up.
Yeah.
I'm just like, let's go.
Which is crazy because I really, when I look back, Miles, honey, you want this mascara? Oh, sure. When I look back, I definitely struggled with identity issues, and that may be the reason I feel the way I do is because a lot of my identity issues were around race and ethnicity and all of these things, when none of that matters. That literally does not effing matter to me. Like, so I always had to hold my ground on who I was, and that's all I could stand on because I did have so much chaos around my identity. That I think, that was one of the things I had to hold on to. But I do think motherhood just amplified that, like amplified my groundwork, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I like the word amplify, and I just love all the background noise in your house. Okay,
this is what happens. They play lions because I let them watch Lion King, and then they start actually fist fighting and attacking each other.
Know that. I know that all too well. I know that. Boy moms we're special because boys are literally crazy.
Literally so nuts. I just can't even deal with it.
The amount of energy that my boys have is honestly insane.
Same. I was just saying that. I can't even focus.
That's why we're boy moms? Because I feel like we both have like a certain energy for life. Like this, like we want to, we've always wanted to travel and stuff. Not saying that, girls aren't. Amazingly, I have the sweetest, most beautiful nieces. I would honestly love to have my own daughter, but it's just, boys are so fucking crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I need that, like, rile in my life. Is rile even a word? Like, I need to be riled up. Yeah.
It's just they keep you on your toes. Clearly.
And make you slightly insane. No, I'm just kidding.
They make you question everything.
And this is when I completely disassociate. Like, I'm probably panicking somewhere in my body, and I just can't even address it while they scream behind me. So
I just feel like if there's no blood,
there could be.
There definitely could be, but anyway, do you have any other thoughts?
So, not that I can think of right now.
I know.
So
hopefully this resonated with some of you. Just like our random thoughts on who we are after moms, and I guess
I feel like this was awakening for both of us. Yeah. This was nice.
Don't worry if you are like in that crazy stage of maybe postpartum and you're like, what the hell? Who am I? I promise you'll figure it out.
Yeah. And stop asking people what they do. What do you do? You see, I have 8 kids. What do you think I do? What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
And stop
sitting in silence. Right? I enjoy sitting in silence. Don't ask me that shit.
And stop giving me a frown when I tell you I'm a stay-at-home mom.
And like, we'll reassure. Like, oh, don't worry. Like, that's hard enough work. Like, I'm
not worried.
Thank you. Yeah, I was not.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well,
okay.
This was a shorty but a goodie. So
minus my children. Love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe.
We'll see you next time when there's less screaming children.
And husbands to watch our kids. Bye.
And more husbands. Bye.